This absolute psychopath that you see right here bought food from this pizza place and attempted to poison it before giving it to his nephew, whom he absolutely hates for some reason. And if it weren't for this brave employee calling the cops and telling them what happened, who knows what would have gone down if this kid finished his entire sandwich. So without any further ado, if this story sounds crazy, make sure you watch until the end of this one and drop a like if you enjoy my content. Anyways, let's get right on into it, shall we?
Do you know his first name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy what?
I don't know his last name. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going home.
This is his address?
That's what I have in the system. He was picking up a to-go order. It's for his nephew who didn't like it.
So who you're seeing right now is the employee of this pizza place that ended up calling the police when he saw this super trashed guy walk into his place of business, order a giant meatball sub, and then apparently in front of everybody in the store, he took out half of it and started dropping Visine into it, which is like an eye drop that you're supposed to use. I don't know. I've only personally used it to hide from my parents when I was out with friends partaking in something I didn't want them knowing about, and besides that, apparently it can be lethal at certain doses. So no matter what it is, this guy clearly had an intent to harm his nephew by putting this in the sandwich, and it's crazy that he did it in front of the employees.
I gotta be honest with you, sir. I mean, I know I'm doing the right thing here, but I'm a little worried about retribution. This guy is not, he's not right in the head, and he's not a small dude, and I know he has.
Alright, let me, I probably run into him before. I wouldn't stress about it, right? Because he's not even know it's going to be you. It's hard for me to prove.
Who else could it be?
So the point I'm trying to drive at is like,
Oh, and this poor employee honestly is scared and terrified of the retribution from this guy because they live close enough to this establishment that he actually regularly walks here with his two dogs, the guy who's about to be arrested, I mean. And he's apparently known by the police force too, so we can only assume that this guy is flat out just a nuisance to his local community. And it makes sense because who else in their right mind would be trying to poison their nephew like this guy did? But yeah, this owner is actually terrified of the idea that this will come back to him because clearly who else would snitch on you for this besides the employees who saw you putting this Visine into the sandwich. And as a result, he's trying to ask for the cop for some sort of assurance that this guy's not going to come back and, try something, because it sounds like this guy really has nothing to lose in his life.
how do you know he doesn't like his nephew?
Oh, he told me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, guy, he's like, he didn't even wake up till 3 o'clock today. He's like, he's a deadbeat, blah, blah, blah.
And, leading up to that, he, mushed the sandwich. He, hid it while it was on the counter, because he was like, yeah, I don't care about that kid.
And I don't know why I'm laughing because this honestly is a very serious case, but there's something so weird about this guy's seemingly fervent hatred for his own nephew. They live in the same house apparently, and there's something about this kid being in his 20s and being kind of lazy, which I think a lot of 20-year-olds who watch this channel can really, resonate with. I mean, it's hard to feel motivated as a young adult anyways, and with today's modern society and all the uphill battles it feels we're gonna have to do in order to have simple things like a house and, a family, whatever. I can see how this kid might not be motivated, especially if he's in an environment where people hate him enough to try to poison his sandwich. But it sounds like this dude was just cussing up a storm inside the store, talking trash about his nephew, and punched the sandwich while it was on the desk as if to squish it, hopefully to make his nephew more angry when he, brought back home the food and found out that his sandwich was all squished. This dude just sounds like an absolute man-child, and it's kind of scary to think of, if he also has a temper, that is a very bad problem to have for this person and anybody else who might come in contact with this guy.
Did he get to it yet?
He's doing it right now. Smashed it, okay.
And I can actually, you can actually make it bigger too, honestly.
Yep, I got it. What did he say when he was doing this? You said this was for his nephew?
Yeah.
And the police officer here is asking clarifying questions as he's looking over the security footage, which clearly shows this guy loading up this side of the sandwich with Visine. And it sounds like he was almost doing some sort of cartoon villain-esque rant while he's doing this about how much he hates his nephew and he's gonna get back at him. And it sounds so funny to me. Like, this dude is so bad at breaking the law that while he was committing this crime, he was just being very open with the employees about exactly what he's doing, as if he was hoping that there was gonna be a bystander effect or something and they wouldn't report it to the police. Luckily, this person, who is very brave, might I add, came forward to the police and hopefully saved this kid's life, who might have eaten the entire sandwich, and who knows what could have happened to him.
On this aspect too, call us, we'll trespass him.
Okay.
So he can't come back.
I do have a certificate trespass thing on file.
Authorization?
Yeah.
Okay. As he was pouring it, did he say, this is for my nephew? Okay.
I mean, I know ultimately I should have just grabbed the sandwich from him, but, he's a big dude and he's happy to bag it.
No, I got you. Listen, you're doing the right thing by calling it. I know you don't want it to come back to your business. I know you're worried about retaliation on that aspect of it. You have fantastic cameras here, right? So I can just tell from looking at that, right? You can request to be kept out of the report, right? Because right now we're looking at a felony.
So the cop makes some assurances to this business owner, basically telling him that he can trespass this guy whenever he steps foot on their property, and that will allow law enforcement to step in and arrest this dude if he continues to linger around and cause problems for them. But this dude is so sketched out by the idea of this dude finding out that he was the one who snitched on him that the cop actually decides to dedicate some units to being in front of this place and doing patrols to make sure that there is no retribution going on. So if that doesn't show you that this guy is properly dangerous and someone to be feared, you know, the uncle in this scenario I'm talking about, the one that's doing the poisoning, he just sounds like an absolute menace and a psychopath, and I would be properly scared myself if I was this business owner. So hopefully they can watch over his place of business and make sure nothing else bad goes down.
But that was the only meatball parm sandwich, so he said it was for his nephew and they did it.
Correct.
Okay. What did he say exactly when he poured the stuff on the sandwich?
I mean, I honestly, like, I can't tell you verbatim, but he was just, you know, going a million miles an hour like he always was, because he was, you know, like talking about how the kid hadn't woken up since 3 o'clock, and he just said, you know, I freaking hate that kid, or something like that. I can't say it verbatim.
But then he did that? Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just honestly blows my mind that this dude has such a deep hatred for somebody who is so close to him family-wise. I mean, this is his nephew we're talking about, and he seems to be hating on this kid for sleeping in till 3 p.m. like a lot of, you know, misled or uninspired 20-somethings do. You know, if somebody's down in the dumps and they live in an environment where their uncle hates them so much that he's trying to poison his food, I totally get why this kid would be, you know, reserved and not really doing much with his life. But it sounds like this uncle of his really hates that for some reason and was willing to pretty much derail his entire life and get arrested over it. So anyways, that's enough talking with the business owner. Now it's time for them to show up to this guy's house, and we're gonna hear firsthand why he thought he had to poison his nephew's food, as well as get a look at the rest of this guy's family that's living with him. So we might be getting a better picture as to what the hell this family dynamic is, because I am very confused right now.
No.
So, is your nephew here?
Yep.
What's his name? Alright, did you just order food? Did you guys just order food from the pizza joint?
Yeah.
What the hell happened with the food? Talk to me.
Nothing.
Why? Okay.
Let me go. You want to go get my daughter too, because she was there with all this happening.
Alright, can you actually we just get the nephew? I
don't even know what you guys are asking.
Yeah.
Me
Hold on. I'm gonna explain everything to you, okay? But I gotta talk to your nephew first, okay?
about.
Is he here?
So the cops pull up, and this guy and his mother, who he lives with as well, which he's mad at his nephew for being lazy, but dude, you live with your mom as well. It sounds like there's 3 different generations living in this home, which I have nothing against multi-generational living, but obviously it can be an indicator of you not really pulling your own weight and being able to afford rent on your own, which I completely understand that's a thing. But it sounds like a lot of this stuff that he's getting angry over his nephew over is more of a projection of what he's angry about himself with, so maybe he should have eaten the Visine-laced meatball sub. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy to me that he hates on his nephew this much and allowed himself to do this. I know there's some of you out there that'll be like, dude, I looked it up, Visine can't even hurt you that much. Like, it's literally just eye drops, but it's the concept of what he was doing, okay? He was tampering with this food as a means of messing with or trying to bring harm to his own nephew.
Yeah, so is mine.
Alright, Jamie, right now you're gonna be detained, okay? Excuse me, Jerry.
You might be in charge of something?
Yes, you are, sir.
So yeah, it's at this point that they put this dude in cuffs and they bring out the nephew in order to not only tell him what he just ingested partially, but also to give him a full scoop of the situation and what's going to be going on with his uncle in terms of their processing of him.
Your daughter wasn't there. I know.
Daughter was there.
I watched the video. There was no one there.
You watched the video?
There was a video of him. What happened with it? Hey,
There's a video?
come here. Hey man, what's your first name? Did you eat a meatball sub?
Huh?
Did you eat a meatball sub for dinner?
Was trying to. Yes,
Did you
sort
take
of.
any bites of it?
Couple.
Okay. Your uncle here,
Okay.
he poured Visine all over it. Yes.
I mean,
All over it.
I truly cannot imagine being this kid right now, having this info given to you. I'm sure, obviously, he's dealing with torment from the adults in this house day in and day out, so he's aware of the fact that he is not wanted in this environment and that he's hated, but it's just crazy to think of, like, now there is serious evidence of how much they hate you. Your own uncle tried to poison you and poison your food, and it sounds like none of the adults in his house really even care all that much either, when it's like, in reality, this is your son/grandson. You should be freaking out that your own relative did this. But yeah, my heart heart just breaks for this kid. I really can't imagine what the conditions are like for him behind closed doors. You know, we're just seeing a glimpse of his life tonight, but who knows what kind of torment and hell he is experiencing in his environment every single day. And I know there's a lot of people out there who just feel not wanted in their own homes, and that just absolutely breaks my freaking heart.
Clear as day. I watched him open your sandwich, right? Yeah. So I know you're stressed right now, but I just want.
Surprised.
He clearly does not like you. So, he opened up a sandwich that was meant for you. He poured a bunch of Visine over it, which can cause severe stomach contractions, right? In clear day of a bunch of other people.
So yeah, luckily it sounds like he didn't eat the entire sandwich. Again, I'm no medical expert, so I don't know what would have happened to him had he ingested more of it, but he really dodged a bullet with this one. But speaking of retribution, I mean, the employee at that last store was scared, but imagine being this kid. Now his uncle's getting in trouble with the law in his eyes because of his nephew. I'm sure this dude won't be taking personal responsibility over his choice to poison this food himself. He will probably still see his nephew as the reason he's getting locked up. So I'm very scared of thinking what the retribution could be when he comes back home. Like, I don't have an update on this kid, but I'm hoping he's able to move out at some point and just get the hell out of this environment, because clearly it's not safe for him.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get probably hairy in here. Okay? However, if you feel unsafe, you call 911. You don't let them tell you no.
I know.
Okay? You call 911.
He's been like this with me for a while. Like, he's just been really... He hates me. He hates me.
So this cop gives a serious talking to this kid and is like, dude, do not let them pressure you out of calling 911. If you think that you are in direct danger, please call us and we will get back here, which I'm sure they're going to have some very special notes about this address in their database from here on out. You know, after this scenario and the situation, they're going to be keeping a close eye on this kid and making sure no foul play goes down as a result of them showing up tonight. But my best advice for this kid, not that he can just pull money out of his ass, is try to get out of that situation and find anywhere else that you can live with a roof over your head, because it will without a doubt be safer than here. He also asked the kid if he would like to press charges, which he thankfully says yes to very quickly, and I do think that is obviously fair. If somebody tried to poison me, you could be damn sure I'm going to be pressing charges, and I'm sure all of you can agree with me on that.
All right, take your shoes off for you so you can check them here.
Please, thank you.
Yep, go right ahead.
Keep a hand on it real quick. Thank you.
No worries, man. I ain't going nowhere, man. You're
Well, we just have to, like, per our policies, we got to make sure we keep our hands on you. All right, you're good. You want to slip back in there?
Yep, thank you. I appreciate that.
You want to hold the tongue up for you? You good?
No.
So this dude's finally being detained. I mean, he's been in cuffs for a while now, but they're putting him into the squad car, and he is being oddly cooperative. I don't know if he thinks that's going to help his case, but they have some pretty damning solid evidence here in terms of video of him pulling out this sandwich and putting the Visine all over the length of the sandwich. So it's good that he's being nice here and not causing any extra escalation, but I don't know if it's going to help his case all that much.
Okay, you're good. You're good there. You're good there.
What?
All I can say is wow. Really?
My what?
They have a video.
For what?
You know what?
I have not a clue.
I'm not saying anything, but you know what?
Anything until I talk to my lawyer.
All I can say is wow, Jim.
So he receives a slight scolding from his mother where all she can say is wow, and maybe she truly is speechless, but I don't know. I really don't know. Something about her, quote, anger with her own son here for poisoning her grandson, or attempting to, just seems very fake and surface level for the police. Now, I'm no, psychoanalyst. I can't tell by just this little piece of footage, but I would not be surprised if she knows exactly what kind of torment this kid is going through in his day-to-day life as a result of all these adults in this house. So it's easy to point the finger when he's in the cop car and you're like, wow, you really did that? When I'm sure, this kid explains that there was a shouting match between him and his uncle earlier, and that's probably what led to his uncle going on this tirade at the pizza place and attempting to poison him in the first place. But this old lady cannot be acting like she is just becoming aware of the fact that this guy has been messing with his nephew and just being an absolute nuisance to him, / hating his guts. So I really don't buy that. So according to this video, he was charged with poisoning of food, which is a first-degree felony, and for that charge, he did post a $10,000 bond and was released from jail promptly after that. But then after some court proceedings, it sounds like the charge of food poisoning was then lowered to criminal mischief, which is then a second-degree misdemeanor. And after that, he was finally found guilty of criminal mischief and sentenced to 38 days in jail, as well as facing a, $550 fine, which I'm sure he could pay quite easily after that $10,000 bail that he came up with earlier. But I don't know, this video is not about the sentencing, it's more about the insane act that he did. So I want to know what you thought down in the comments, and if you want more of these body cam reaction videos, let me know down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you for watching to the very end, and until next time, peace out.